Wuchang as a Souls game almost disrespects you in the very beginning. Boss fights are kind of cakewalk, and I found myself steamrolling and first trying a lot of them. Just straight up embarrassing them with relentless backstrikes, stuns, and just knocking them down to the floor. Come on, get up, fight back, fight back! So at first, this was disappointing. What I didn't realize was the game very well was setting me up, raising my confidence by playing the long game before they fully slapped that humble pie into me. No, I didn't eat humble pie. They full on shoved it inside of me. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I finally got a reality check and found myself stuck on some bosses, taking 41 deaths on some and over 3 hours to beat others. And I loved every second of it. Let's just say this game heard you like millennia, so they gave you plenty of millennia. Plenty of them to enjoy. Souls fans are going to like this title a lot, as it is a worthy game in the Souls genre to play with some of the coolest looking environments and awesome new mechanics that reward all styles of play. You can be hyper aggressive in this game with the amount of flexibility that the system offers you. Defense as in perfect dodges will reward you with feathers. You can now spend those feathers to make your abilities combo in different ways that they normally wouldn't combo originally. This works by making abilities come out quicker, and they also get enhancements too by refunding stamina and giving you all sorts of buffs. But not only from defense can you get these feathers, your offense can reward it too. Being aggressive, striking enemies, parrying moves incoming will reward you with feathers, which by the way this game calls Skyborn Might. It also does my favorite thing where we can blend together physical damage with our weapons and still use spells without having to fully cater a build for it. What I mean is, there's not a mana system in this game. The spells can be casted with your feathers and your Skyborn Might. So between offense and defense, building up your Might feathers, you can now spend them on magic spells or physical abilities non-stop in combat. I personally have not built my character towards magic or dealing any magic damage, but I still use it because there's a lot of great stuff with it. My favorite magic spell is Burning Flames. This is a spell where you will jump backwards and launch 3 fireballs at enemies. It's pretty good because it gives you an extra dodge technically with this. Then there's also another spell you can get later in the game called Ethereal Form. It is straight up a cheat code. It costs only 1 feather and you can borderline spam it to avoid enemy attacks, because when you dodge an enemy attack successfully, it will refund you a feather. So perfect dodges, just keep on looping this over and over again non-stop. Straight up, this reminds me of Yuffie and her Brumal Form move in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I absolutely loved breaking that game with that. Hey guys, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to help raise that 38% even higher. We got a lot of Wuchang videos coming your way, plenty of guides, plenty of builds, and lots of boss rage. And you don't want to miss any of that. This game has a mechanic system called Madness. As you continue to defeat enemies, you build up Madness, and you get various different effects from this. At about 50% Madness, some of your abilities and blocking gain a passive buff, where each successful parry gives you a free Skyborn Might feather. Also, you can cast Temperance moves way faster too. There's a lot of buffs that can come with this. And at 90% Madness, you're going to get other buffs too. Like, for example, the move Blink Kick, it will now restore stamina whenever you use it, as long as your Madness is over 90%. There's plenty of these different passive effects within the game, so you can always experiment and try out different things with your build. And not only can you raise your Madness by defeating enemies, there's actually a shop at the shrine called the Invoke Store. Purchasing items in this store costs no money, but it'll charge you Madness. So if you're at 0% Madness, you can continue to buy items here until your Madness fills up. And if you're at 100% Madness, you unfortunately can't buy any more Invoke items. Some of the Invoke items are pretty good, like Golden Feather Pearl. It makes it so that if you die, you don't lose any souls. And there's also items to boost your stamina recovery speed as well as heal. And on top of that, when you get to 100% Madness, you gain a damage buff. But it is high risk, high reward, where you will deal more damage, but you're also going to receive more damage. Now, all of this sounds amazing, right? So what's the negative? Well, there's actually a terrifying negative to this, one that I forget about all too often. In Wuchang, if you die while you're at 100% Madness, and then you return to where your body was to collect your souls, a demon will spawn in and absorb your soul, so now you have to defeat it in order to get your souls back. And these demons are no joke. Each new one that I fight, it got smarter and smarter. They don't make too many mistakes either. And even if they fall off of most buildings, they're just gonna wait and come back for you because they are relentless. I love this mechanic. It's very hilarious sometimes, and I think that a lot of people are going to have rage compilations with this. The best advice I can give for defeating these demons is never fight the demon alone. See, these badasses, they don't care about anything or anyone. Literally anyone can catch their hands. So if you do kite them around to other enemies, they will jump the demon. They will get into fights with them, and the demon will tunnel vision and fight them alone, making it very easy sometimes to kind of beat them from behind and even get a bigger souls pool too. But remember, they're pretty strong, and their moves have a very big range, so they can catch you off guard. So while madness can buff you, if you abuse it too much and you die, you're gonna have to answer to that demon that spawns. Keep in mind, if a boss killed you though, and you were at full madness, a demon will not spawn on the boss. So you are safe there. You can also reduce the amount of madness you have if you defeat feathered enemies, but the game will teach you that slowly as you play through it. Now, when it comes to the story of this game, it's pretty decent. I have to replay it again because if I'm honest, the lore is pretty jam-packed within dialogue, and you kind of have to listen to each character to understand what's going on. Just like with the Bloodborne games and such, it took me a few times to really grasp it. The general story is you are a pirate afflicted with a disease called the feathering. You also have amnesia, which is common for those affected with feathering, and you're trying to track down the whereabouts of your sister. And while doing this, you're going to get the help of these refugees, and you're going to also help them find a cure. To be honest, I don't trust most of the people in this game. It's a very mysterious story, and how a lot of people talk with you, you can kind of get an idea of where things are going from many conversations. So I personally can't wait to replay this on stream with you guys and do a deeper dive on the lore. My other favorite thing in this game is something that they introduced pretty early on within the first hour. It's called temperance. Unfortunately, I didn't really learn about it until way later in the game, which is very disappointing. The game, that's one of the main negatives too with this game as well, is whenever you learn a new mechanic, if you just defeated a boss and you learn a new mechanic, it teaches you it right there and also gives you a bunch of items and takes you through a menu tutorial, which a lot of stuff can get lost and mistranslated in that way. So while I first got tempering within the first hour, I didn't start using it until probably day 3 of the game. And you have to use a specific new item in your inventory to activate it. But for example, I'm going to make a bunch of different builds on temperance and elemental builds. My favorite one is the lifesteal build. I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about that, so you guys definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss out on that build. But there's also builds that you can make, like burning builds, poison builds, and corruption builds. They're all really fun stuff, and they change the way that combat and dynamics flow. So I do like temperance a lot. I just think that it's weird how the game explains that and many of its other mechanics, but we'll talk about that in the video that's coming out tomorrow. My other main gripe with this game is the tricky way that its level design functions. I love the actual look of the levels, and the environments are really stunning. And when you see more areas, you guys will agree too. They did a really great job with that. What I mostly mean though is the story progression through the levels. It's very easy to get lost in this game. I'm only going to mention one spot because for me and 2 other reviewers, we all got stuck here for 3 hours not knowing where to go or what to do. And it's all because of a new shortcut that we unlocked. There is a temple, which you will visit quite often, and it has a lot of shortcuts available. You'll see them as you roam around, but you can't unlock them yet. However, as you're progressing through the story, eventually you do find them here, and this first one, for example, is a giant tree trunk that you can knock down. It's going to create a bridge that makes a shortcut to go back to the temple, basically unlocking a whole new area and giving you a shrine so you don't have to backtrack and go all the way around. This new area has 2 new bosses, a bunch of side quests, a mini boss, more enemies, and after completing this area, you kind of come to a dead end with no way to progress. I was stuck here for almost 3 hours, and it was frustrating because when you get to the final area here, you unlock a new shrine. And normally when you unlock a new shrine, that means you have way more to explore, way more to see. And it was really frustrating because I unlocked this shrine and there was nowhere else around here to go. But in actuality, what you had to do at this point was go back to the corpse pits. When you get to this exact location that I'm showing here on screen, it's kind of like an enemy stronghold base. There's going to be a building where you can walk through, or you can go up and around through these side stairs. These side stairs are kind of hidden, I'm not gonna lie. If you go straight through this building, it's just gonna loop you back to the previous area. Whereas these hidden steps to the left, this is where you need to go to progress further. That was super frustrating, and I wasn't the only person stuck here. I guess it depends on if you discover that earlier shortcut first or not. We seemingly did, but yeah, this is the only one I'm going to mention to you guys, really, and the only one that I found that was a big issue, because the others aren't too bad. Just make sure you follow the latest teleport location that you have in the shrine. Completing the latest ones will of course progress you even further and get you right back on track. Wuchang is a game I don't regret investing my time into. I've been playing it a lot since early July. Special thanks to 505 Games and Lenzee for giving me a code to check it out. I personally think if you like Souls-like games, you'll definitely want to check this out. It has a lot of familiar aspects to it that you will enjoy, and it introduces some unique mechanics and elements of its own to be a worthy title within the genre. I give Wuchang an 8.5 out of 10 because I do love its combat flexibility, the ability to create our own combos, the weapon building system, and how deep things can get, which again, I do plan to make videos on because there's a lot of great details and builds to talk about. My only negatives are the story hasn't really grabbed me yet, but of course this can change and might change on my second playthrough, maybe even bump it up to a 9 out of 10. And the level design, while it's great and promotes exploration, when you get lost, it is a pain, especially early on. And also the way that they handle introducing new mechanics. I kind of wish that it wasn't like bombarding you all at once, because there are some things that you will miss out on. Make sure you guys tune into our other video tomorrow. We're going to be going a little bit more in depth in regards to tips and things that you need to do ASAP when you play Wuchang so you can enhance your experience. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Wuchang videos are on the way and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.